Hello and welcome to this week's episode of My CP Does Not Define Me, where we focus less on the dis and more on the ability of what we can do. Join us every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, live on www.letgoradio.net and on Facebook Live, where I always say, if you can't be good, be bad, but be good at it.
All right. It is Wednesday. It is that time again. It is 2 o'clock. The intro has played, so that can only mean one thing. The world is at it. No, wait, the world's still here. No, it's time for episode 36 of My CP Does Not Define Me with Kyle and Kristina, Kristina and Kyle, Kristina, Kyle, and DJ. All three. I have two guests today, and they always say two heads are better than one. So we will see if that is actually true. I'd like to introduce my special guest as everybody comes in. Thank you guys for joining me. Happy to have you. Hey, Nikki, please leave us a comment. Let us know how you're doing. And comment on the show, even if you hate us. We still want to hear from you.
We love you.
You may hate us, but we love you. We are live on Facebook Live, and we are live on www.letgoradio.net. Feel free to tune in, listen in just by clicking on the three little icons and click Listen Live to check us out. So, again, let me introduce Kristina and Kyle. Kyle and Kristina, how are you guys today?
Doing well, DJ.
Awesome. All right. So, as I say with all my guests, I've been saying students all morning because I've been training. I don't know why. I have this student mentality today. If you guys would, whoever wants to go first, just tell us a little bit about yourself, what your disability is, and how it affects you, if you would, please.
You want to go ahead, Kristina? Oh, ladies first.
Sure, ladies first. So I'm Kristina McCormick, and I have spastic diplegia cerebral palsy. It mainly affects my legs, and I do walk with a crutch, but it doesn't stop me from doing a lot of things. I'm a teacher, and I love to travel when I can do so safely. I'm hoping that I can travel again someday soon, but I'm super, super happy that DJ invited us on today, and I'm really, really excited to see what kind of questions he has for us. So that's pretty much me. I'm just a teacher, cat mom, and I love to travel and explore whenever I can.
All right, Kyle, how about you?
Hi, everyone. I'm Kyle Russo. I also have spastic diplegia, but I walk with two arm crutches instead of one. It's mostly in the legs, but a little bit in the arms too. It mostly balance is my big thing I'm working on in physical therapy right now. I'm a disability advocate along with DJ and Kristina, because Kristina and I have our own radio show. I run a YouTube channel. I have a blog. I'll get into all of that later on, I'm sure, but definitely a disability advocate. I love to listen to music, read, and big into fitness right now.
All right. Well, we're glad to have you. Kyle's going to pump up on the show. All right. So that was Arnold. I don't know if that was a good impression or not, but we'll just go with it and see what happens. So, all right, we're going to kick this thing off. Let's, and I'm going to I want to bounce these questions off of both of you. Hopefully it doesn't hurt too much. But I'll see what I did here. We got the holidays coming up, and with COVID-19, I know a lot of you guys, big families and everything like that. How has shopping affected you, with CP and everything? Have you done most of your stuff online? What's going on with that?
Yes, for me, Amazon has been my best friend.
Okay.
I have done all my shopping online, and I'm officially done. But I got an extra package today from Walmart.com of a pack of 3 erasers that I don't know where it came from.
What?
So, if anyone needs an eraser, I'm your guy. But
to all the people of the world, we have erasers. We don't know where they came from, and we'd like to give them away. Call in now. Caller number 10 gets a great magic eraser.
Well, Kyle, you got a teacher over here that could always use eraser.
They're the big kind. They're the big kind, so you can have them because they came with my last package for my dad, and I thought it was a camera for my I thought it was a gift for my niece, and that came to the wrong house. So I'm like, Mom, is this the gift? And she's like, well, let me open it. It feels weird, And it's a pack of erasers from Walmart.com that I have no idea where they came from. It says I bought them, but it's not on my bank or, like I have no confirmation emails from Walmart or nothing. So bonus gift to me.
All right. Free erasers for me. Yeah. All right, Kristina, how about you?
So I did a lot of shopping locally this year, honestly. I mean, with the COVID, I've been staying home, but a lot of these shops are doing a really good job of, enforcing masks wearing and social distancing and everything. So I did try to go out and grab a few things. I would order it like online, but went to pick it up, just trying to support local businesses. And then what I couldn't get ordered locally, I went online on Amazon.com and shopped. And I've always been a pretty regular Amazon user.
Mm-hmm.
They say there's teachers that are Pinterest teachers. They have everything, looking all pretty and everything. I'm not one of those. I call myself an Amazon Prime teacher because I have an idea for my students and I need that stuff in 2 days, or otherwise it's too late and I'm on to something else. So
I tell you, I love Christmas. I always have ever since I've been little, and it's Christmas for me, guys. Sorry, hope I don't offend anybody, but if you want to say Xmas, you can. I'm just gonna kick you in the shin and run. Not really. I won't kick you in the shin.
I'll roll you in the shin.
I actually can kick. That's the surprising part that a lot of people don't realize. Thank you, martial arts. I've been shopping since December 3rd, and I can now say as of yesterday, because I had to go to 6 different stores to get more things, and I thought I was finished, and I'm like, nope, because my gift for Miss Winnie, which is not, I'm not going to say what it was on the air. I had everything planned out, and it was super great. And then they called me and told me it was on back order, and then they told me that they couldn't fulfill it because they didn't have enough. So I had to cancel that, and I had to go out and get another gift for her that I couldn't find what I wanted. And then I had to go to another store, and I found, I'm like, what am I going to do? This is, and I'm going to the lady, and I'm like, look, I've got to get something so inspirational. You don't understand. I can't just get a regular gift. She's like, try over there. And I'm like, and I look over there, and there it is. And I'm like, oh, it's perfect. So I go and I buy it. And then I had to get something from Mr. Wilson, and so I did that. And I didn't have to. I wanted to because, they're just so awesome, and I just decided to do it. So I got home, and I realized it's like 4 o'clock, and I'm like, okay, our tree exploded. There's no more room to put gifts under it. I am done. I'm not buying another thing. Like, my bank account is so low, I can't even crawl under it right now. So I just want to, mention that. But, the season does that to me. I love giving. Do you guys like to receive gifts? Do you like to give gifts? What's the story on that?
Go ahead, Kristina.
I mean, I like to give gifts. I honestly do. I like to, and the thing is, like, people always think it's about how much you spend, and it's not. Like, it's really the thought. I just like when somebody opens something and I know that it's something that they can really use, or that they, that they're really going to like. Like, it makes me feel good to be able to make somebody else happy.
Mm-hmm. Kyle, how about you?
I also love giving gifts, but I appreciate when someone thinks of me to give me a gift, like whatever it is. I'm not like, you only spent this much on me. I'm like, you thought of me to buy me a gift. But I love to give gifts. And that's the thing that bothers me sometimes when I don't have the money to buy what I want.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to say, thankfully, to Amazon, because my parents use me for my Amazon account. And thankfully, there is the 2-day shipping because there was gifts right up until the last minute.
Right. I'm the same way. I love to give gifts, and I love to see people light up, man. I mean, I can't set budgets because I go over. I can't do it. Not when it comes to Christmas. Any other time I can do it. I'm a stickler. I'm like you said, spend 100. I spent 99.99, and it was this, that, and that. Christmas, I'm like, yeah, all right, okay. I spent 200.
Oh, you do have to be careful with that. I mean, my sister and I have talked about it several years, and we always just try to make sure we spend about the same on each other because, like, we want to get each other something nice, but at the same time, we're both, less than 5 years into our current jobs, and we're not trying to spend too much on each other. But
see, that's the thing. I always like, if I only buy you a $20 gift and you buy me a $50 gift, I feel bad. So I like to buy equal gifts, or at least somewhat equal, within, not that I don't know.
We kind of hit a little bit of a topic here because I want to talk about kind of what Kyle said. I used to feel that way. If someone would spend more money on me than I would spend on them, it's kind of hard. You feel like, well, man, you went and did this, and now I only did this, and I don't have the money to do that. I feel bad, but I learned that when you give a gift, it's what you give it with. It's really not about the money, because a gift that is $20 can mean as much or more now to me than a gift that is $50. I don't look at what the gift cost. I look at what I'm giving it with, which is my whole heart.
That's the way to look at it.
Yeah, very true.
Because I will say, like my friend Haley, is like, what do you want? What do you want? And we tried to we both already know what we got each other. And they're close in price, but they're things that we both want. Like I'm gonna get a video camera for YouTube. Like she got that for me, and she cuts hair, so I got her, to cut hair. Like we got practical gifts. It was like, what do you need? What do you want? And they happened to be close in price, but it wasn't like we have to spend the same amount of money. But.
All right, couple of comments that have come in, guys. Nikki says, "All she's gonna love it. Surprise when you surprise her, I will." Michael says, "Mine too." Talking about what we were talking about earlier. Andrea says, "I'm with you there. I can understand the pricing on gifts and what you're wanting to do." Raina says, "Hey DJ, lovely guest," and Nikki says, "Absolutely." So, guys, thank y'all for tuning in and commenting and keep them coming. Now, I want to ask Kristina a question. Now, you're a twin, correct?
Uh-huh.
Now, my question to you is this. Your sister is a fraternal twin or identical?
She's fraternal, yes. We do look a lot alike, but we are not identical, despite what people say.
Now, when it comes to twins, I don't care what people say. There is a connection. There is a connection like none other. Y'all know each other really well. I mean, and I know with fraternal twins as well as identical, they go, man, they can predict the future. They know what's going on. They know what each other's going to say before the first one says it.
Yeah, we had teachers that were concerned if they had us sitting too close together because they were afraid we would use our telepathy to tell each other answers.
Oh yeah, I can see somebody. Kristina,
I said,
what?
Both
of you answer at the same time. How do you guys know? And do you guys have trouble getting gifts for each other because you kind of know what the other one wants or needs? How do you work that out?
We honestly, she knows what kinds of things I like, and I know what she likes as well. But Amazon's been a big help. The last couple of years, we'll make like a wish list on Amazon, so I can go look at hers and she can go look at mine, and it just makes it really easy because we know that it's something that the other person is going to use, and so that's what we've been doing. But she's the handmade gift kind of person too.
Mm-hmm.
She knows how to crochet and everything. So usually there's a hat or a scarf or something, thrown in with all of my stuff. And I always look forward to those because I walk outside and my ears always get cold. So I always like a hat that I can pull all the way down, so you barely see my face so that I'm nice and warm.
Gotta keep warm. Trust me, I understand that one. All right, Kristina, you kind of mentioned my next topic. I love it. I don't even have to segue into it. You've got the list. Now, Kyle, this question's for you. So you make a list and you tell everybody what you want. Honestly, How do you feel when somebody gets you something off of the list, nothing that you asked for, something that wasn't on your list? And what about if you don't like it? How do you deal with it? What a great gift!
You know what? I do. I still appreciate it. Because yes, I made a list. Well, actually, this year I did not make a list because people kept asking me, "What do you want?" It's like I don't know. But I still appreciate that they kind of went outside of what I thought I wanted. And if I don't like it, I'm not gonna outwardly say, "Oh, I don't like it." Like, I might not use it later, but they're never gonna know. I think that's really rude if you're like, oh, I did, so I try to keep it while they're around. It's a great thing, and it is still a great thing. I just might not use it as often as they hope I do, but I won't ever throw it away.
Well, I handle that one just a wee bit different. I'm very honest. Now, I will never tell somebody I don't like this. But I wear my emotions on my sleeve, and when I get something I don't like, you can see it on my face, and I can't help it because I'm like, what a great gift. It's really cool. I love, and they're like, oh God. Like, I got this multicolored shirt one year from a friend, and it had pink and orange and yellow, and it was a dress shirt, but it honestly looked like a pumpkin on steroids with like the Incredible Hulk mixed in. And he goes, dude, you can wear that to dinner tonight. And I'm like, I could. Let me go change. Oh, it's too small. Here, take it back. I mean, it's like,
I would never buy clothes because everyone's fashion sense is a little bit different. Mm-hmm. So what I think looks good, you might not. So I'm not gonna buy you clothes unless it's like.
I'm easy to shop for as far as clothes, though. Like, my grandma can go out and buy me a scarf and a cardigan, and I'm done because I'm a teacher, and I swear I have like 30 cardigans hanging in my closet.
Well, see, that's the whole point of the list, though. I mean, being honest, if you make a list, the list is actually what you want. And the reason I'm talking about this is because Kyle mentioned it a little bit. People are different. And if you get somebody something that they want, they're going to like it. Mm-hmm. If you try to be creative, as it were, and go off that list and be spontaneous and get them like the, 16 style can opener that opens 12 different cans, and you're like, I bought this. And they're like, what the world? This is not my list, but I like it, So you have that moment of, oh, wow, you really surprised me. I love being surprised. I think it's an awesome thing. So I don't know. I'm very peculiar to where if someone asks me what I want and then they get me something different, it's fine because it's from them and I'm not going to make a big deal about it. But I don't know. That's what lists are for. And I don't know. My mom knows how to go outside the list. My wife knows how to go outside the list because she knows what I like. But I wanted to see how kind of y'all felt the outside of the list kind of thing is why I asked that question.
Yeah, it depends on who it is. Like you said, like if my mom could go off the list and get me something that I like the people that are close to me, like, but sometimes it's like,
yeah. See, that's on the. Do you like it? Yeah. I mean, you get it, and you're like, keep a straight face, smile. I know it's wool, just smile. It's got a big sheep on it. I get it. It's a bad idea, but it's okay.
See, and that happened to me a lot as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
My grandma would. I'm
wearing socks, man, every year.
I love you, Grandma. She's passed on, but at 11 years old, she got me a Bob the Builder video tape, and I was like, this is great, but like not really. But as I've gotten older, I feel like people have gone less off the list. But definitely as a kid, when you like my grandma would give us like gift bags, like more than one gift, just this giant bag that you'd pull stuff from. And sometimes it'd be like, what is that? Like I remember, but again, bless her soul, I got a plastic tiger, one of them. And I was like, huh. And I do love tigers, but I was like, what am I gonna do with that? Like,
well, we got Miss Winnie Wilson up here, the CEO and founder of Kelly's Choice, and she has put her 10 cents in. I feel it shouldn't matter because it should be the thought that counts. And we talked a little bit about that too. Hey, Miss Winnie, thank you for joining us. We love you. Looking all good at 55. Go ahead on, Miss Winnie, with your bad self. So, I just, and I appreciate your honesty on that, guys, because it's one of those things where, and and people, it should be thought, because I mean, I understand, people go out of their way to try to get something, and there should be, respect involved too. But I can see where the moments are like, I'm 11 and I have a Bob the Builder tape sitting in front of me. What do I do with this? Oh God,
right.
It's like
that's where it comes. Like you got to mask it. I would try and go hard. Oh, thank you, hugs, and then like, Mom, I don't want this.
Right. All right. So we're gonna get into some completion here now. Kristina, I noticed that you have completed a very big event. You've been working on this for 6 months now, and you completed it. Why don't you tell everybody what your completion is?
All right. So I've been walking now pretty regularly for about a year and a half, because I went to Spain a couple summers ago to take some master's classes, and I knew that if I was going to be traveling, I was going to have to build up some stamina so that I wasn't just exhausted every day, walking around and enjoying Europe. And so not this past summer before, the summer of 2019, I had gone to Spain. And because of COVID, I couldn't go this past June like I was supposed to. So I thought, well, if I can't go to Spain and be there in person, if I can't enjoy it and travel, I'm going to, try to do something to where I can visit Spain, but also still, keep walking and keep working on building up muscle, because I eventually do want to go back, and I don't want it to knock me down and make me exhausted when I do. So, well, thank you, Miss Winnie. I just see the comment come across here. You're awesome. Well, you're awesome too, Miss Winnie. Thanks so much. So the mission that I signed up for was a virtual walk from France, pretty much all the way across Spain. It's called the Camino de Santiago. It is a religious pilgrimage that people like to go walk on and see the different sites along the way. But it's 480 miles long. So I signed up for the challenge on June 16th. And I was walking pretty much every day for the last 6 months. Like, sometimes it was walking laps in the hallways after school. Sometimes it was walking around my neighborhood. But I walked 480 miles in 6 months. And that's about 80 miles a month. And so there's 30 days in a month. So you can just imagine how much I was walking every day to be able to do that. Like, it was no small feat. And, of course, me being the person that I am, I'm already looking at, I'm going, okay, what other challenge can I sign up for? Are there any longer ones that I could do for next time? So I'm between, there's one that's like 300 miles, which is shorter than what I did. And then there's another one that's 828 miles, which is double what I just did, which would take me more time. But this program is awesome, though, because you can track your progress as you go. You can look at where you're at on Google Maps, Google Street View, and they send you a medal when you get done. So I have a medal coming in the mail tonight from this challenge that I just finished last week, and it's some serious bling. It's going to be pretty cool to actually get something physical for all of this work that I've done. And let me just say, too, with CP, it's not easy to be active like that. There were days when, I hurt and I was really tired, and I was thankful that I was going to physical therapy at that point in time so that my physical therapist could keep an eye on things too, and, and do some different needling and all that, different treatments like as needed, because I don't think I would have done that many miles if I hadn't been in physical therapy. Like, it was so great to have that support when I'm pushing my body to its limits all the time.
She's so good. She answered 3 of the questions I had before I asked them. So, first of all, I want to say congratulations. You are awesome.
Thank you.
You walked how long?
It was 480 miles, and it took me 6 months.
480 miles. 480 miles. Girl, you deserve like a new car. They need to upgrade the metal to like some running shoes, a new car, some new crutches. I mean something. I mean, 480 miles. That's a long daggone wait.
Yeah, let's just say that I treated myself when I finished, and I ordered some wings from my favorite restaurant, and I sat there with my feet in my foot bath, and I just said, I'm doing nothing today because it was awesome. And the best thing too was like I finished it, and I got the little certificate, and I screenshotted it, and I sent it on over to my physical therapist, and she was so thrilled. It was just awesome to like hear her reaction. And
so let me ask you this: can you describe the moment that you finished, what that felt like inside? I mean, because when you walk every day for 6 months, and in that 6 months, I know you got hurt a couple of times, and when you get hurt with CP, you down for a little bit. People don't understand. Yeah. CP kicks you sometimes. I'm gonna just let y'all know. It's just one of those things. You're like, I gotta take. It's got to be. You got to have those moments.
It's incredible. There were times where it was incredibly frustrating because I would, it's like the weather is nice today. I would love to go out and walk because the weather is great, but there were times where I didn't feel like going out and walking because I pulled the muscle here, or this was sore, or that was sore. It was definitely a huge period of adjustment. I've really built up a lot of muscle, though, and I'm totally glad that I did it. But the moment that I finished, though, to answer your question and not go on too much of a rant, I was actually kind of really emotional. Like, just to finally get there after, like, all these months of walking every day, and, the last several miles of it took me a long time because I pulled a hamstring in there and was on the couch for a couple of days icing my leg. And so when I finally got there, I was like, yes, I finally did it after all of this time, all of the effort, all of the, the injuries and the soreness and everything else. Like, it was so great to finally be able to check that off and say, yeah, despite the difficulties, I did it. I walked 480 miles.
And remember that number, because that is so powerful that you were able to do that and accomplish that goal, and you did it on your own. But you had support too, and I know, there were people that were believing in you and calling you and giving you motivation. Can you talk just a little bit about that?
The support, the support was pretty great. I mean, all you in my CP group were always really supportive of me whenever I let you guys know, and you're all like, we believe in you, you got this, and I have a group of friends on Fitbit as well that keep me accountable with steps. Okay, I see a comment here.
Yep.
Gotta read it.
That's awesome about Kristina McCormick's story. It's that through it all, she never gave up. She kept picking up and moving forward. I absolutely love her courage to push through in spite of all the challenges. Miss Winnie, that's awesome, and that's well said, and I agree with that 100%.
Thank you so much, Miss.
She said this down here. She said, congratulations, Kristina McCormick. I got to make sure to show these comments because, Mama be on me about that. I got to make sure to get it right. I'm showing them all, Ms. Wilson, showing them all. So,
no, I had so much support from my physical therapist, from my group on Fitbit. I want to give a shout out to those people too, like my sister, my friend Kevin, Michaela, all you guys. We're in step challenges pretty much every week on Fitbit. So we have a challenge from Monday through Friday to see who can get the most steps. And then we usually do one on Saturdays and Sundays too. And they were a great group to keep me motivated, like not just keeping me motivated because I wanted to get more steps than them, but like checking in, like, how's it going? How many miles left? And like, oh my gosh, you're doing so great. You'll have this done in no time. And, reminding me to take it easy when I needed to take it easy. They were great support as well. And my family, of course, has been pretty excited about the whole thing and sort of cheering me along as I went through. So the support is huge, because I honestly, yes, I took the steps, but without the support, there were a lot of times when I thought, oh, this is, this is a big task. What did I get myself into?
All right, well, I'm gonna move up a square here real quick to Big Kyle for a minute. Now, I noticed a couple things. Kyle, before we got on the air, you gave us a stand up, and you had on a shirt that said, the CP made me do it. Now, how did you come up with the CP made me do it? Talk a little bit about that.
It was just kind of one of those things that was kind of a joke between Kristina and I, of like when you just have a spasm and you drop something or you fall and you pick yourself up. It's just kind of one of those things that we were like, the CP made me do it. And at one point I was like, it popped into my head of like Teespring, where you can make your own shirts. And I was like, I want to put that on a shirt. So I did. And that's actually the cover. Kristina had one, but that's the problem. It kind of shrinks sometimes. But that's the cover photo of our radio show, is us wearing these shirts. Because I think CP just has a way of rearing its head sometimes, and sometimes that's all you can blame it on. Is like,
you got that right.
Like, it doesn't matter like what you want to do that day. Sometimes it just does its own thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in the kitchen. No, I'm not. My legs aren't working. Wait a minute now. Hold up. Whoa. CP is just like, stop right there. I can understand that.
I mean, sometimes it's in control. I mean, that you just have to, that day, if it's a bad CP day, you just kind of have to get through it, and hopefully the next day will be better. But I just thought, to have this as a representation of, sometimes CP just makes you do weird things. And I also have other shirts like I'm a disability advocate, disabled and proud. I have like 7 or 8 shirts I designed just because, in case anyone wants to show that there's nothing wrong with being disabled. You can be proud to be disabled.
That's a great statement. I love that.
So much shame that society kind of puts on disability, and it's like, I just thought, why not make some disability positive shirts where, you can be proud that you're disabled, not even just with CP, like sure. Any disability, you should be proud because you are still here pushing despite all the challenges we have to face every day. And nobody understands that. Because nobody, unless you have the same disability as someone, you really don't understand what they go through.
Now, I want to talk about something because it was something you said, and you said it kind of casual, and I'm like, 7 or 8? Can a brother get one? Goodness gracious! So you have 7 or 8 shirts. Now, are they all through the same company that you made them?
They're all on Teespring. I have a Teespring store, My Disabled Experience on Teespring. I could pull it up really quick on my phone and tell you what I have, because I don't even remember now. Because every time I have a saying, I'm like, that would be good for a shirt.
Okay. Well, while you're doing that, I'm going to ask you a question. So, you have all these shirts and you're looking at, the positivity of disability. And I love that because everybody tries to, or a lot of people, I want to say, try to make it so negative, and you're really putting a positive spin on it. And Miss Wilson also talks about that. You got to be positive, turn a negative into a positive. What gave you the inspiration to go, you know what, that would be great on a shirt? How did you realize that you wanted to do it? What gave you the passion about it?
Well, and it really was just like it started with the CP made me do it. I didn't plan on making like a store to sell shirts. It was just like, I really want that. We said it like so often that I was like, I just want that for myself. And then it gave me the option, like, you could sell it. And I was like, okay, I'll sell it. And then I just kept thinking of sayings of that some of them are similar. Like I have the CP made me do it, and the shirt that I'm wearing, on the back, it says #CP Probs. There's also just the CP made me do it with My Disabled Experience on the back. There's a My Disabled Experience shirt. There is Disabled and Proud, like I mentioned. Proud CP Warrior. I'm CP Strong. There's a World CP Day shirt that has that same saying with hashtag World CP Day on the back. That's a sweatshirt. Disability Ally. So, I just, every time I think of a new something, I'm just like, I'll put it on.
You just kind of pop it out there. All right, what's the link so actually people can go to the page? And that's per Miss Winnie. So we want to get that link out there. What's that link, Kyle?
It is, it's teespring.com/stores/My Disabled Experience.
Okay. If one of you want to put that in the comments, that way I've got the so you can actually go in and put that. It should be able to. I'm not able. I don't know why it won't be right here, but
I see that. Yeah, can I do that?
Yeah, we'll make sure to get the link in there.
I'll put it on. We'll go on Facebook and I'll put it on there.
Okay. All right. That way people can actually go to the page. And Miss Winnie just said something here. Talking about this, your T-shirt line. I've said over and over again, Kyle Russo, that your words are powerful, and understand. Those little phrases and little pops like that. I call those little pops. Those little word pops, man. They love worded T-shirts. My CP does not define me is coming. That's going to be my shirt. I'm getting that. I might have to get with you because we're going to have to talk about that. But I honestly think that is very true. Words are very powerful, and especially phrases that mean a lot to you as an individual. They mean a lot to other people, and the reason, Kyle, you do a lot. Just in you think of the little things, and those little things add up. And y'all both are powerful people and individual people, and that's what I love about both of you, because you talk about My Disabled Experience, and I want to get into that next. Now you were when you were growing up in school, and I love this story that you tell because you told it many times, but I believe it or not, I can relate because I wanted to fit in. You were shy growing up, were you not?
Oh yes, almost painfully a little bit. Like I wasn't much for trying anything new. I did have a select group of friends, like my lifelong friend Thomas that I met in preschool, and a couple of the neighborhood kids, but that was kind of it for a long time. I wasn't, and then even then, with the friends that I did have back then, CP was a very large part of me. Right. It's smaller than it is now, or it's smaller now, but I would be like, well, you don't, they wouldn't hang out with me, and I'd be like, well, you just don't like me, because I'm disabled. I was so insecure then with friendships and just kind of putting myself out there. I was afraid of being, teased. So it held me back a lot. I did do one thing, which is Special Olympics for 3 from 04 to 06. And that was kind of something that was positive, but overall, up until about 10th grade is when things started to change. And that is because I met Kristina, and we also had like 4 other people with cerebral palsy in high school. And, we kind of became a group, and, I finally realized, I'm not alone, and people can understand me and relate to me, and, we can have fun. It kind of,
when you realize that right there, I'm not alone. People can relate to me. People do understand. What was that feeling like for you?
It was incredible. It was like a breath of fresh air. It was kind of like the weight. I finally went, wow. Like I could finally like relax and just kind of be, instead of being like, what do people want me to be? Or, but even still now, I have to say, there are still times when I'm like, oh, someone will ask me, do you need us to slow down? And I'll still be like, no, it's okay. And I'll try to walk even faster. And it's like, well, why do I do that? Even I have to get a braces appointment to try on my new braces coming up on the 29th. And my friend Haley and her boyfriend are going to take me. But then I realized that day that they're doing Christmas that day. And I'm like, you don't need to, like, it's okay. Like, I don't want to be in it because I don't drive. So I rely on.
Oh, we might have
people
lost.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There we go. You kind of say that again, Kyle. You kind of broke up just for a second, bud.
Oh, I don't drive, so I do rely on people to help get me where I need to go. And I realized that they had said that they would take me, but then my appointment's at 1 and their Christmas is at 3, and I'm like, you really don't have to take me. Like, it's okay. It's not like I'll find another way. And they're like, and her boyfriend Zach was like, Kyle, stop worrying about it. Like, we got it. Like, because I'm still a little bit afraid of being an inconvenience, which I shouldn't be. But
and I, not to cut you off, but I've felt that. I mean, and it took a long time for me to get over if people are helping me, I'm not a burden. I always felt like I was a burden when somebody was helping me. Always felt like, why, because then they're taking their time to help me. And then what if they want to do something and now they can't because of me? And now I got to, and then when the appointment would take longer, it's like, dang, now they got to wait longer because of this. When did you find out, or when did you realize who Kyle Russo was? When did you come into grips with I'm okay being Kyle and I know who I am?
That's kind of an interesting question because it started when I was in university at Illinois State University. They asked me to start a registered student organization that was focused on kind of bridging the gap between those with disabilities and those who are temporarily able-bodied. And for those who don't know what temporarily able-bodied is, that's just the idea that you don't have a disability now, but you could in the future.
Right.
So the idea was to kind of bridge the gap. And, while I was at ISU, I helped with that for about 1.5 years, and we got it up and running. And then I graduated, and then a couple of years went by, and then I was like, you know what? I was watching YouTube. I was watching another fellow YouTuber who has a disability, but she's blind, but she kind of just shows her life, as a woman who is blind, and she doesn't let that stop her. Molly Burke, if anyone wants to watch her. But she was talking about how at one point there wasn't that many people on YouTube with disability. And I was like, well, I want to do, like, I could do that. Like, why can't I do that? So I started my YouTube channel, My Disabled Experience with Kyle Russo, 1 year ago. And since starting that, I feel like I've really come into my own, and knowing that I want to be a disability advocate, and, doing shows like this bring me a lot of joy. It's just like, so I feel like within the last year, I finally have started to really, like, this is me, this is who I am, this is where I want to go. Because even after college, there was a point where I wasn't sure what to do. I don't know. I just, I went to school, I got a degree, but there still wasn't that, like, Kristina is very fortunate that she knew she wanted to be a teacher. She went out and got it. And she got a job in our hometown, kind of by some luck, if I must say, but she works hard at it, and she knows what she wants. And for a while, I didn't know, like, what I wanted, and now I feel like I do. Right? How am I? So it's a slow process, though, for anyone who really doesn't know what they want. Like, don't be afraid to explore. That's why I was like, should I start a t-shirt line? I'm gonna try it anyway. Kind of like cast wide and what sticks kind of mentality. I was like, ooh, I'll start a YouTube. And then, I was convinced by Miss Winnie to start a blog. And, she was gracious enough to give us our own radio show. And it's just kind of, it's all blossomed from there. I'm trying to write children's book relationship that I have with my niece. So it's really blossomed in the last year, I'll say.
I've got to, and again, a lot of what you're saying, cast your net wide and see what sticks. I love that. That is that's a t-shirt in itself right there. I just, I've seen, we've been friends for almost a year now, with the CP group, and I kind of what I want to talk about now as we kind of get close to the end of the show. We still got a little bit of time, but I want to get into, you and Kristina started a radio show together, the CP Chronicles, and it's, the type of thing. I've seen all you guys' shows. If I don't watch them live, I definitely watch them on the replay. Can you talk about, Kyle, if you would, first, the CP group that we have on Friday Night Chat, and then Kristina as well. Can you just talk about the My Disabled Experience, the CP Chronicles, and what that has done for you in finding each other and kind of just, really connecting with the disabled community?
We were fortunate enough to have our radio show because of Miss Winnie, and it's because I spoke at a conference and she kind of brought several people. I think there's 10, 11 of us, 12 even, I think. And we
10.
meet, 10. We just meet every Friday, and it was a place where, we could just be honest about the struggles of CP, and nobody was there to judge because we could all relate to it on some level. And it allowed me to really open up and kind of even let further down some walls, I think, that I still had. And Miss Winnie, through that group, was nice enough to be like, hey, Kyle and Kristina, I think you guys would do really well as radio hosts. And I think we do, personally. I don't mean to toot our own horn, but Kristina and I have known each other for 11 years, and we kind of, we have two unique perspectives on CP, but we bring those together, and I think it meshes rather well. I don't mean to gloat or anything.
No, I don't think you're gloating at all. I think it does mesh rather well. Kristina, how about you?
Yeah, it's been really cool having the radio show because Kyle and I have known each other for a long time, and we have honestly a good number of conversations about CP just in our conversations, and it's nice to have sort of an outlet to talk about some of those things that come up in our conversations. Now we can share that with people on the radio, sharing our experiences, our difficulties, and we find that other people have experiences like us too. And if we didn't have the radio show, I feel like we wouldn't have this really nice outlet to sort of talk about some of those issues about disability that come up.
Awesome.
Because the more people that understand disability, I think the better off we are. And that's kind of why we wanted to do the CP Chronicles in the first place. Like, we wanted people to understand what CP is, and yes, it's a disability, but no, it doesn't stop us from doing all of these great things that we're doing.
So I have one more question for you guys, and I saved this one for last because Miss Winnie just said it. Miss Winnie just said it. A safe space. You guys have a chance every Saturday at 4:00 Eastern. What is it? 3 Central, right?
Yes.
Got it right. 4:00 Eastern, 3 Central time to really connect with people with disabilities, and you two do it so well in a sense that you have the female perspective, you have the male perspective, and then you guys come together to really talk about things about disability in general. How does it feel for you to connect with the disabled community and realize that you are helping people, and you're going, wait a minute, that connected, that made sense. I did something to maybe change someone's life for the better. Do you realize how powerful your show actually is? Have you thought about the magnitude of your topics and the people that you have on your show? How awesome it is that you're connecting with the disabled world, really, because again, We're on Facebook Live. We're on www.letgoradio.net. I mean, people are commenting as usual, and I'm popping them up here as fast as they come. But what does it mean to you guys for that? And whoever wants to start first can.
I'll go first, I guess. For me, I mean, it means a lot to know that I'm reaching out to people. It feels really good to be able to do that because I went to grade school, all of elementary school basically, without knowing another person with a physical disability. Mm-hmm. So I didn't have, someone to go to about those different things. I didn't have somebody that understood. So for me now as an adult to know that I might be reaching some kid out there that's looking for a role model is a huge thing because I didn't have a disabled role model. And to have a chance to be that for somebody else is a really, really powerful thing.
Mm-hmm. Kyle?
And, Miss Winnie said it, your words are powerful. And I still think there are times when I forget that because we're just doing I'm just doing the show with Kristina. She's one of my best friends and it's fun. And I sometimes forget the magnitude of what we're actually talking about and who it can reach. And I love when people are like, hey, when they message us through Facebook or comment on the show. And then it's like, oh, then it kind of brings me to that reality of people, people can relate. And it feels great when they thank us for the show and talking about what we talked about. And it helps motivate me to keep going, keep sharing, keep being more transparent and vulnerable. Because if it can help other people, then it's worth it.
Do you think it makes you stronger to be vulnerable?
I do. Because why should we be ashamed of how we feel?
There it is. Right. That's what I wanted. See, that's what I'm talking about. The realism right there. Why should we be ashamed of how we feel? We got about 8 minutes left in the show, and unless Miss Winnie says different. But I want to mention this. We got 2021 coming up, and I just want to ask you guys personally. We'll start with Kyle this time since Kristina went first. What do you see happening in 2021 for the CP Chronicles and for yourself?
Well, for the show, I would say just, more real talk because we don't have a show that doesn't relate to us somehow. We don't come up with a topic of that would be good to talk about, but we've never actually experienced that. It's always something that we have gone through, whether it be current, present, 2 days before the show, we come up with ooh, we just went through that and that needs to be talked about. Mm-hmm. Or we go back, ooh, as a kid, I felt this way. Should we talk about it? Yes. We always make sure we agree on the topic. It's relevant to us. So we have things to say because we don't want to have empty conversation, because who can relate to that? If I'm talking, I've never experienced, that's fake. We are a very real show.
And I love that. Actually, Miss Winnie said we're good, so we got a little extra time. But I just, the fact that it's not fake, the fact that you are, down and dirty to the real point. I love that. It ain't no fake stuff. I almost said something different. Ain't no fake stuff going on here. Kristina, how about you?
Well, yeah, our show, looking forward to 2021, we really are working on getting some more guests on the show. We've had several months now of Kyle and I just talking about experiences that we've had, and now we're wanting to really get some other voices in here. So we're trying to schedule out about every other week having a guest, just to give Kyle and I a chance to talk about those things that are going on in our life too, that we feel, that are pertinent that we talk about. But so on that note, if anybody's listening on Let Go Radio or here on Facebook, check us out at the CP Chronicles with Kyle and Kristina. Send us a message, and whether it's CP that you live with or another disability, or you know someone that's disabled and you want to talk about those experiences, reach out to us. We'd love to have you, and we'd love to hear your story on our show. Kyle and I have a lot of experiences to share, yes, but other people's voices are important too, and we want to give people a chance to share those stories about CP with the following that we have.
You know what's amazing to me, and I want to get you guys to social media too, but we're gonna go a little bit past the hour because I just noticed something, and actually I've noticed this for a long time. You guys care about others, and you really there's a humbleness about you two. I've always said it. You know, when I've had the honor of being a guest on your show. I was on last week, and then it was amazing. I talked to Miss Winnie about it. I said, guess who's on my show this week? Kyle and Kristina. I was just on Kristina and Kyle. I was just on their show last week. And Miss Winnie's like, that's funny, because we had to schedule it. And I looked and I'm like, oh, great. The last show of the year, because I'm actually taking the day off for my birthday on the 30th. I said, the last show of 2020 is going to be Kristina and Kyle. And when you guys speak, the words that you say and the topics that you talk about, it sticks to people. And you leave an impression about life where someone can be reached and they go, you know what? CP does suck, but it's not that bad. I can make it. I can push through. So the inspiration that you give people and what you give people, the words of power, the words of affirmation, the good messages, talking about the realism of CP, you're able to help push someone else through their dark times. And that's what I like about the show. It's not a scripted, today we're going to talk about this, this, and this, and I'm going to speak in the same monotone for 1 hour. It's not that, it's fun and educational, and it's real. And I think real shows for Let Go Radio and for you guys are amazing. Let me just pull up this comment here. The CP Chronicles with Kyle Russo and Kristina McCormick. Connect with them to listen to their show every Saturday on www.letgoradio.net, Facebook Live at 4 p.m. Eastern and 3 p.m. Central, and connect with them to be a guest on the show. Thank you, Miss Winnie. We love you for that. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for the plug, Miss Winnie. We have to thank her for giving us the opportunity to even do this, because without her believing in us and our voices.
Oh, Andrea. Hi, Andrea.
Hi, Andrea. We appreciate you. I'll give you the CP hug. See, for those outside of the CP group, this is our signal. It's like the bat signal, but we do.
I like that comment too that just popped up. The only battle I can't win with CPU is the battle against gravity. Boy, you got that right. Gravity's not our friend, but that don't mean we can't do a lot of cool stuff. Just gotta keep pushing.
let me ask you this, because I and you two, what does Miss Winnie mean to you guys? Just talk a little bit about that, because we got a little bit of extra time and she deserves it. So talk just a little bit about that, if you would.
She just pushes everybody to be better and to do things that they might not necessarily be comfortable doing, but she sees it in us before we see it in ourselves, and that's the biggest thing, because when she sees something in you that you haven't seen yet, she's going to be the person that's going to give you that push to get you going and start you on something that you're later going to say, oh my gosh, this is awesome. Why didn't I do it sooner? So I thank her for always seeing the potential in people, because I think everybody needs somebody who can see their potential.
Kyle, what about you, bud?
Well, I can attest to that, what Kristina just said. When I started making YouTube videos, I really wasn't sure what I was doing. I was just making them because I enjoyed making them. And she reached out to me through a YouTube comment being like, hey, I really like what you have to say. Would you like to do a CP conference? And I was like, what? Like, you want me to speak? Like, you think I have something important to say? And it was like, I almost said no. I've told this story many times, and I almost said no. And I said, I was like, no, like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to email her. And I did. And, she just happened to randomly find my video and see potential in me. And she gave me my first opportunity to speak, publicly about CP and my experiences. And she just, she gave me the courage to do that and made me feel like, yes, your voice does matter. And she continues to do that now. And she just continues to you know, like you can have new goals that you don't even know you have yet.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, that's what I just really appreciate, because I have family support, but just, you know, she's no stranger anymore. But to have a stranger back at the time be like, your voice matters and I really want you to speak at my conference, did a lot for my confidence in knowing that, you know, what I have to say is important to everyone, but to the right people.
Right. I just, you know, I look at it and you know, where we are right now, you know, Miss Winnie does so much for others and she does so little for herself. You know, I look at what she has done, and she has the ability, and I've said this before, she's the spark of my life. You know, Kyle, you mentioned it. She sees things in people, you know, before they see it. And then when she pulls it out, your first reaction, I know mine was, you know, what you want me to do? What? I ain't got time for that. And I remember, you know, right away she stopped, she looked at me and she said, yes, you do. And it's that love and that she pushes us, but I think, you know, she does it in such a right way. If you look at, you know, the potter, you know, working with clay, that I love the fact that, and she stays with us the entire time. She never disconnects from the people that support her. And I think that's what makes it so great, is that, you know, she's able to give, you know, this radio show to me and to you guys again every Saturday at 4:00, you know, Eastern Standard Time, 3 p.m. Central. It's amazing to be able to have a chance like this, and the chance is so powerful. And I guess that just shows you, when you get a chance, take it, even if it's a scary situation for you. You know, do it in fear. You know, push yourself to get through that moment, because you never know. You never know what you're going to do until you try. And you know, Miss Winnie has affected thousands and thousands and thousands of people. And all she's got to do is be in a room and laugh, and you know that she's gonna. I mean, you hear that laugh, it's over. You're like, I got to get some of that. If I could bottle her energy is like an electric shock to my soul. And I said that last night because it's truthful. You know, you guys are doing all of this, and I want to get your social media information out there too. I know we've gone over the hour a little bit. It's all right. She's the boss, guys. She's allowed to let us do that. Can you just tell us about your social media, Kristina? How to get a hold of you? Where to get in contact with you?
Yeah, so my Facebook is Kristina McCormick, and my YouTube is also Kristina McCormick. The YouTube is mostly about physical therapy. I just some updates here and there, and just CP stuff. So if you want to check that out, you can. I also have the show with Kyle called the CP Chronicles with Kyle and Kristina. We have our picture on there too, so it should pop right up, be pretty easy for everybody to find. And then last but not least, I have a blog about my fitness journey, walking my way to a 10k.weebly.com. So that's where y'all can reach me. Facebook is the best way, though.
All right, Kyle, how about you, big man?
Yes, you can also reach me on Facebook at Kyle Russo. Again, with the CP Chronicles, but you can also reach me through YouTube at My Disabled Experience with Kyle Russo. That's RUSSOW. I should pop up just fine because I'm like the only Russo with the W. Again, I have my t-shirt line through Teespring. That's www.teespring.com/stores/My Disabled Experience. And I have a blog this time because I never know what it actually is, but kylerusso.wixsite.com/My Disabled Experience. And I also have a My Disabled Experience Facebook page where I post my blogs and just funny pictures with disability, just disability related content that I enjoy.
Yeah, guys, make sure to put your links in the comments when you're finished, so everybody can get to you. And I'll make sure to tag you in this as well, like I always do. But I want to thank you guys for being on the show today. You guys are awesome. I've got one more thing. I want each of you to leave a word of encouragement to our listeners on letgoradio.net and out there listening on Facebook Live. This is your chance to make that connection. And I would like to just have you guys leave a word of inspiration. Kristina, I want you to go first on this one.
Well, the journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step. That's my word of inspiration for the day, because sometimes life is hard and you're not sure where to go, but just get started and, take baby steps and you'll get there. Sometimes starting is the hardest part, but you just got to remember that, you can do it. So you just got to keep going.
Okay.
Yeah, and mine would kind of echo that. And don't be afraid to think big and know that you're going to get there, and realize that it is going to take time, but every step is progress towards that goal. I have many goals, not only with advocacy, but now I want to start cooking and, fitness, and just having a goal, sticking to it, and knowing that the journey is going to be a little messy, but keep going and you'll get there, as long as it's something you really believe in.
Oh man, Miss Winnie said, I think I just heard your cat that did it for that was Tucker meowing in the background.
Yeah, he's been here the whole time sitting next to me, so if anybody heard any kitty noises,
there he is. I mentioned his name and right on cue. So my word of inspiration for the viewers is nothing is impossible. Take impossible and break it down, and it becomes I'm possible. The only thing you can't do is the thing you don't try. You can accomplish anything you want if you put your mind and your heart into it. Guys, thank y'all so much for tuning in to My CP Does Not Define Me. I got actually, before I do that, I got to mention this because Miss Winnie just hit one out of the park. Speaking of thinking big, how big is your vision? If you dream and your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough. And that is something I'm going to tell you guys. I used to be a very much box thinker, and I think a lot of people do that. I could do a whole nother show just on this because it's so powerful. But people think that they're limit, because they're disabled, they have limits. We are limitless people, and if we act and do things as limitless people, we can do anything we want if we put our mind to it. And like I said, if it doesn't scare you, if your dreams don't scare you, and you think, man, how can I accomplish that? There's no way I can accomplish it. You want me to do what? It starts with what Kristina said, one step at a time. You've got to take that first step and take that chance to make it happen. You have to take that first step and realize, if I want to do something, if I want to make something happen, I've got to put the effort into it to make it work. I've got to put the reality of life is, you get into life, what you put into it, you're going to get out of it. If you don't put it in, you're not going to get it out of there. You guys, I see great things for you, because you're great people, but you have a passion for what you do. And I'm so glad that I was able to have you, as my guest today. Thank y'all so much for being here. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. All the comments, and Miss Winnie, thank you for being here. You're a positive part of our lives. Miss Winnie is our heartbeat. I feel like she is our heartbeat. She's the one that keeps us connected. I'm gonna play my outro real quick, but before I do, I always say this: if you can't be good, be bad, but be good at it. This is D to the J with the roll away, saying we'll see you next Wednesday at 2 p.m. for My CP Does Not Define Me, episode 37.
All right, everybody. That's going to do it for this week's episode of My CP Does Not Define Me. But don't worry, you can catch us again next Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. on www.letgoradio.net and on Facebook and YouTube at My CP Does Not Define Me. Remember, I'm your host, D to the J with the roll away. And if you can't be good, be bad. But be good at it. We'll see you next week.